Oh, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies, and comrades, this is Kenya Revolutionary. Karibu, karibu, karibu sana. Karibu sana, everyone. If you're watching, wherever you are, whether you're in Europe, Africa, Australia, New Zealand, Asia, Antarctica, karibu sana for this part two of this question that I asked yesterday. Will the Azimio coalition stay intact with the announcement that Raila made that he's going to AU? There's also questions whether he can go to AU. We covered that. I gave you the reasons why Raila might not make it as the next AU chairperson, especially if you consider not only his qualifications, but the 2/3 vote requirements that is needed for him to get that. Yes, he might have the vote of Museveni, Kagame, Ruto, Suluhu, but that's not enough. And maybe, Olusegun there in the north, from Nigeria, but that's not enough, okay? I think there are 444 or more AU members, member states, and I don't think all those presidents will vote overwhelmingly for Raila Odinga. And we've learned of that lady from Somalia who also is from the East African bloc, who will be also vying for that same chairperson position that Raila is vying for. So it might get tricky, okay? We'll see. But as I tried to describe yesterday, that Ruto actually has boxed in Raila Odinga for several reasons. We are going to explore the reasons why I was giving you the reasons why there's a civil war that's happening within Azimio coalition. There's two factions in this Azimio as of right now. There are people who think that Raila Odinga amewacheza, okay? He led them on, told them about, electoral justice, gharama ya maisha, and all that. Then, on the last minute, now he's talking about going to AU, and they're like, huh? What's going on? What happened to that? You just bolted out of the struggle just because you got the position? Because you've been promised that position for AU? Now you're bolting out of the struggle? And there are those who are still looking at Baba as, they're trying to defend Baba. They're saying, Raila, it's okay. He's been here for a while. It's okay for him to go to Addis Ababa. Akipata your job. It's well and good. It is within his right to do so. So somebody else should pick up the mantle. And they're still buying into what Raila is telling them, that he's only 2 hours away and a phone call away from any, help that his supporters might need. The problem is that Raila failed to disclose that if he actually becomes the AU chairperson, he cannot be involved in local politics. Because remember, Ruto has to recommend him, has to vote for him in this Eastern African bloc for him to actually qualify to get the 2/3 votes that's required to become the AU chairperson. Okay, so there's no way Ruto can vote for him. Okay, then once he becomes the AU chairperson, he turns around and starts campaigning against Ruto's candidature in 2027. That's just not something that's going to happen. Okay, let's be realistic. But of course, Baba has to again do what the Kenyan politicians do best: exploit you, use your ignorance in order to take advantage of you, because his staunch supporters still don't get that part. Hawaelewi, they don't know. Some of them know, but they are keeping quiet because they're more of Raila fans than the principle of justice, okay, and fairness. They don't care if Raila kills somebody. They'll still say Baba is justified, because they really they don't care about Azimio and what Azimio stands for, okay, or their manifesto or all that stuff. They just care about the person, the cult leader, Raila Odinga. So I'll first explain to you how Ruto managed to get Raila to get off his back so he can rule comfortably, okay? And Raila knows this. And that's why you saw he went out there and told people hatuwezi kupangwa, or whatever the case is, because he knows there's growing discontent from his strong supporters they are realizing that, hey, wewe unaangalia tumbo yako, please stop fooling us. There's a good number of them who are actually very, very disappointed with Raila's decision to take up on this AU chairperson position that he's vying for. Now, before I go on, there's a lot that's happening with Raila Odinga, okay? There's a lot that's happening in Raila Odinga. I want to explain something. I will explain to you something that I was explaining on my previous video, what is actually going on, how Ruto played Raila Odinga. I will quickly do so. But before I go on to that, I want to show you a couple of videos that are going around. And because even within the Azimio folks, okay, if you listen to these platforms that are pro-Azimio, some of them are starting to blame. They're arguing that, the Kikuyus never really supported Raila, they supported Ruto, and they're starting to point fingers at each other. Usually when the support base starts pointing fingers at each other, there's coming of a breakup is coming. Yes, we had the speeches today in was it in game when Wajakoya, Mbadi, Raila, Orengo, they had some speeches there that were giving. They were giving speeches there and talking about, Azimio tuko pamoja and all that. Of course, they have to play to the gallery. They have to assure their supporters that Azimio still won. But in reality, if you listen to their support base, they are divided. Azimio has lost a significant number of supporters already, okay, because they feel they've been betrayed. Tumechezwa kama vile mlichezwa 2017, wamechezwa tena, and they're not happy about that. Now, before I explain how Ruto did play Raila, I will show you a couple of highlights of what happened today in game. I want to zero in on a speech by Wajakoya. Wajakoya, he speaks his mind, but he was a little bit, his language wasn't up there. Yes, he's a figure, national politician, or whatever the case you want to call him, but I felt that his your politics yake hizo vitu alikuwa anasema hapo was kind of no. But anyway, I want to play that. So jiunge na mimi, by the way, if you're watching this, the first order of business: like the video, and if you haven't subscribe. Nitaweka ninio hapo hivyo pia. I'll put the ninio if you want to join. For those of you who want to join, you're more than welcome hapa. Mimi ukisikia kama kuna kitu nimesema ambao husikizani nayo, basi don't hesitate to join the studio and tell me, hey, I don't agree with you. Now, before I even start playing these videos, I want to explain something so you can understand. I was explaining it, but I stopped yesterday. This is what I was explaining, how Ruto played Raila Odinga, okay? This move of agreeing to go to AU, it's a mistake, a strategic mistake by Raila Odinga, okay? But again, it's a form of handshake. Some people are arguing that it's not a handshake, but in reality it is. Let me explain to you how. And I'll explain to you how Ruto played Raila Odinga. All right, so here it is. Remember, after the elections, I'll be very brief because we know what happened, but I'm mentioning these things so you can get a clear picture how Ruto broke down Raila Odinga step by step. After elections, this is what happened. After we had elections, Raila went and put the petition. He lost the petition. Then 5 months after the petition was, the famous quote by Koome, where she said, "This is hot hair." This is what happened next. Okay, Raila started the protests. Akaanza. The first protests were not working. They were not really effective, okay? But after a few protests, ikaanza kushika moto. He started connecting with Maina Njenga and everybody else. So it kind of started gathering, moto kidogo. And it was becoming disruptive. Remember, Ruto, in order to convince his so-called investors, these Western governments, to come invest and all this nonsense, okay? He has to maintain a relatively peaceful country. But this Mandamano were not doing well. They were not passing. They're not looking good. If people are looking at Kenya and they are looking at Mandamano, watu wanavunja maduka, it's not good, okay? So hata IMF ikitaka kupatia hizo loan zako hizo, they're like, well, what are we having here? Are we almost having a civil war? What's going on, okay? So it was in the best interest for the government, Ruto's administration, to make sure that Raila is under control. So they met up in Mombasa secretly, as we have told, Obasanjo, Raila Odinga, and so forth, Junet Mohammed, Joho, they met up and they drew this plan. And the plan was, as Migunas told us, the plan was Raila Odinga was to vie for the African Union chairperson position and have 7 cabinet members from the Azimio side to join the government, right? So that was the that was the handshake that was agreed upon. So months later, as Maina Njenga told us, Raila asked him to stop the maandamano. So after this, wakaanza hiyo mambo ya NADCO. Again, like some of the Azimio supporters were suspecting, the talks were meant to prolong, to stop easy mambo, to nyamazisha the supporters, the staunch Azimio supporters who were asking, Baba tuende maandamano, tuache hii mambo ya talks, it's wasting our time. We started gaining momentum, turudi maandamano. But Baba was saying, wacha waongee mwanzo, if you don't agree, tutarudi maandamano. Remember he told you that? Remember that? I'm taking you step by step. Please grab some popcorn. I'm about to explain something that will change your life, okay? So, when these talks by Kalonzo Musyoka were designed, while they were talking with the Chungwa at Bomas, they were designed, Azimio was using this reason to nyamazisha their supporters. Kumbuka, kuna supporters ambao walikuwa nawaambia, come on, turudi maandamano. The maandamano was working. We are getting this, we've cornered Zakayo Ashuke. And to some extent, it was, working, okay? But remember, Raila handshake ilishafanyishwa na Olusegun huko. Handshake was already done, okay? But he was slowly telling his supporters, don't go to the streets, bado tunatengeneza hii maneno ya NADCO na Kalonzo hapo kwa ninio, hapo Bomas. So people waited for this Bomas thing. Alafu Bomas ikakuja wakamaliza mambo ya Bomas and they announced what they announced. Sindio? Okay. So Bomas ikaisha. Then people started asking, so what's next? Gharama ya maisha bado iko juu. What's next, Raila? What is next? Baba, you remember, even his supporters were like, Baba tuambie tu turudi maandamano. Hii sijui nini. Because Bomas, Raila told them, nimekubali na hiyo Bomas ninio, but the gharama ya maisha is not chini. I will deal with it in my own way. Okay? Si mnakumbuka? So watu wakasikia, wakasema, hey. Then he mentioned in one of his speeches, say, if they don't bring it down, I can have 1 million people so we can go to Nairobi CBD, million people, na to maandamane. And people are like, hey, anytime now, Raila Odinga will announce maandamano. So nakumbuka? Yeah. But that was a tactic to actually quell, kumaliza, kunyamazisha his staunch supporters who wanted this maandamano, okay? So tukangoja, parliament ikarudi, wakasema, tungoje hii kitu ipite kwa parliament. Before even parliament, days before the parliament ilifunguliwa, adjourned, there was a ruling which said that this NADCO report is not anchored in law, okay? Wakaanza kusema, we shall not tambua it, if it's ninio tutarudi maandamano. Watu wakasema, Baba, we are waiting. So, a week after that, Baba akatoa press conference peke yake na Olusegun and said that he needs president, and he referred to him as President William Ruto to support him for his bid for AU. Na akasema kwa ninio yake, kwa hiyo speech, ati I've consulted widely, nimeongea na watu kadhaa widely, na wakasema watani support kwa hiyo bid, so I'm asking for the President Ruto's support. So are you seeing the chain of events here? Okay. So after he mentioned that, watu wakaanza kujiuliza, so now you need Ruto's support to help you in your bid for the AU chairperson position. What happened to maandamano? What happened to gharama maisha? What happened to NADCO? What happened to opening the server? What happened to all this proposal that was in the NADCO? Especially the maandamano. What happened? Your story imeisha hivyo. A week after that, tunaona ndio huyo wameenda wakakutana na rais huko kwa Museveni huko. Just weeks after that, okay? Wamekutana na Museveni, and it poured water on the staunch supporters. They were just deflated kabisa. But here's the deal. Now I've explained how Ruto has amefanya baba asimamishe this matungamano ambayo ilikuwa inafanyika hapa Kenya. The whole makelele ilikuwa inafanyika ya maandamano. Ruto has already quelled that makelele by using Raila, by promising him to support him for this AU, for his bid for AU chairperson position. Sindio? Raila believes that he's going to win. Ruto has gone and that akakutana na Museveni. Museveni probably akamwambia ati atampigia ninio. He knows Suluhu is in the bag. Nani and South Africans, he has his friend with not Thabo Mbeki. What's his name? Ramaphosa. Raila has been friends with Ramaphosa for a long time. So Ramaphosa might ninio. He said he's going to meet Kagame this coming week. So Raila feels that he's going to win this AU chairperson. But Ruto knows Raila is not going to win. Now, mind the gap. Between now, kumbuka, the next AU chairperson will be voted on February next year. Unanishika, follow me in this. Please, like this video because this is very important. The AU chairperson will be voted in February next year. So between now and then, Raila alisema atafanya nini? He will be traveling across Africa. Doing what? Soliciting for support for his candidature. Anatafuta hiyo vote kura. Ataenda West Africa, ataenda East Africa, nini. And even Ruto might even pay for him for his private jets and his travels while he does that, okay? Because Ruto amesema atafanya nini? Atam support. This is not coming from Raila's pocket. Ruto will be paying for that. But this whole year, while Raila is doing all this stuff, Ruto knows Raila is not going to win. Like I told you, he needs 2/3 of the vote. Qualification, Pia, we have questions about his qualification. Academic qualifications, okay? So there's question there. Ruto knows Raila is not going to win, but it's buying him time between now and February before Raila realizes that, oh, kumbe siendi kushinda. But the point is this. While Raila is running across Africa, okay, running for this AU chairperson's position, okay, that has created this impression that Raila now cannot be involved in local politics, which he cannot because he's busy traveling across across Africa, asking for votes for this chairperson position between now and February. While Raila is doing that, his supporters are already deflated. They're feeling like Raila is exiting from local politics, okay? That's the number one win for Ruto. While they're thinking of that, here is what's happening right. What are we discussing now? If you go to all these Azimio platforms, the question they're asking themselves is, who will take Raila's position? Unasikia? Aya. So, unaona everyone is supporting Raila's bid to run for AU. While Raila will be busy trying to get votes, traveling across Africa, they are going to choose. Ruto is going to help indirectly. Kumbuka kuna malls hapo Azimio. Unaona nani? Kalonzo has busy. Anataka his position himself as the next Azimio head. Ameenda akakutana na Gideon Moi, akakutana na nani? Na Kenyatta. This is why they're doing this. And Ruto is very happy with this. Because Kalonzo now is becoming the face. And I inherit your kitty. Unaona, hiyo kiti ya Raila. Because Raila is now what? Busy. Jaribu kupata hiyo kiti ya AU. Now, Raila is so convinced and Ruto is convincing him, unaenda kupata hii kiti, don't worry. I'll even go there and talk to these presidents. While he's doing all this, nani anafunga hii position ya opposition. He'll split them because he knows if Raila will not endorse anybody between now and February next year, it's not 2027, it's going to be 2025. Raila will not endorse anyone. He won't endorse Kalonzo. He will not endorse Martha Karua. He will not endorse Joho. He will not endorse Oparanya or Wamalwa. But Kalonzo, he's propping himself as the next. There's a growing feeling that Kalonzo is the number 2 guy because everyone is talking about Kalonzo has always deputized Raila's position, even though the last time we had Karua, there's a we know that Karua doesn't bring any votes, okay? Ndio maana uliona akachukua ile kamwene yake. But it is assumed, ndio maana unaona watu kama Makao Mutua, they're really pushing hard for Kalonzo. They're saying he's the best candidate when Raila akiishia. The rest hawana ninio. Unaona, ndio maana, and people are saying they deserve it, they deserve it, they deserve it. And you can see that. Anaenda kutana na wale ma heavyweights. Sana chukua Gideon Moi, and he was, ulimwona na nani? Gideon Moi na nani? Na Uhuru Kenyatta yesterday, okay? And even today they are going to meet in Embu if you're not in New. So Nani Kalonzo will be the de facto head of the Azimio, okay, without being fully endorsed by Raila Odinga, officially endorsed by Raila Odinga. It is just there. Hata ukiuliza watu nini wa Azimio saizi, they are saying Kalonzo is the next person, okay? Now, here is the tricky part. That's why I'm saying Raila amechezwa hapa. So here is the tricky part. Again, while Raila is running for this AU chairperson, which is not guaranteed, Nani anainheriti kiti yake as the Azimio head, okay? So, come February, if Raila gets the AU chairperson position, let's use the situation one. If Raila gets the AU chairperson position, okay, it still works well. He cannot criticize Ruto. He cannot go against Ruto because now he's the AU chairperson. Okay, it's a diplomatic position. He cannot come back to Kenya and endorse the opposition to remove Ruto, the same Ruto who actually voted for him to become that AU chairperson and actually helped him garner these votes. So it's understood he cannot do that. Okay, that's number one. So it's a win for Ruto. Now, if Raila loses from getting that seat, that AU chairperson seat, if he loses, this is what's going to happen. Raila will come back and try to re-immerse himself to the local politics. But here's the problem. The problem is Kalonzo already ameshaka kwa hiyo kiti. He assumed the seat. So if Raila comes back to local politics, ameshindwa yuko AU, arudi aseme ati, sasa, nimerudi, I will be vying for 2027, that will automatically get Kalonzo to leave Azimio. Automatically he will leave because he will be like, oh, I need, it was my turn to run, but wewe umerudi tena unataka kuchukua hiyo kiti na ulishatoka already. You already gave it this to my seat. And in fact, Raila alisema ati this is the last time alafu atawachia Kalonzo. Okay? So he cannot come back and say, Kalonzo, sa toka, mimi nimerudi, whatever. He cannot do that. Okay? So the only way, if Raila fails to become the AU chairperson and he comes back to local politics, Raila has to start another coalition, a different coalition from Azimio. So Azimio will break. Okay? So either way, guess who wins? It is Ruto who wins. By Raila agreeing to run for this AU chairperson position, the die was cast then. Iyo mtego ameshashikwa. The only thing he can do is make a press conference. Kesho aseme, you know what? I've changed my mind. I'm running 2027 and start what he started doing, which was ODM grassroots movement by recruitment. That's the only way he can do. But akiendelea, it's a trap. Either way, Ruto amemtoa. Okay? And he understands that. That's why you see ulikuwa kunamsikia anasema nini ati hatupangiwi, because he understands by running for this AU position, while he's doing that position ya ninio, ndio maana unaona wakina nani anaitwaje Ngilu came in and say, Baba, don't live without what? Without kutupanga. Please, tell us who is going to be winning here. Ulisikia Martha Karua say something of that effect too, because they know akitoka, and Raila cannot choose somebody, cannot endorse anyone between now and February, because he understands if he doesn't get that AU position, atarudi siasa ya kawaida, local politics, and he will probably be a candidate in 2027. And if he becomes the candidate 27, he has to start another coalition. Akistay hapo as Azimio, Kalonzo ataishia. Or he can go for the NADCO. And NADCO basically means he will be joining Ruto in government in some capacity. Okay? So either way, Ruto amemweka kwa box. You doubt me? Let's look at what Miguna posted today. Like the video, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, like the video. Kabla tujaendelea mbele, tafadhali like the video, and if you haven't subscribed, subscribe mara moja. Tuangalie. Either way, I'm telling you, Ruto is going to win this. Amemweka kwa box kabisa without Raila maybe not realizing that. Ama maybe alinio, or he has realized but it's too late to ninio. Aya, tuangalie. Here's Miguna what he was saying. Unaona yo ninio. Kalonzo Musyoka ninio. Tukutane Embu. He's writing Azimio 2. Azimio 2. Yo ni ile poster ya nani? Ya Kalonzo Musyoka. Tukutane Embu. Who is going to be there? Kalonzo Musyoka, Mwangi wa Iria, Eugene Wamalwa, Honorable Gideon Moi. Hao ndio watu wanaende. Hiyo ni Azimio 2 already. What did I tell you? Raila, while he's running around between now and February, remember, he cannot call for maandamano because he's running as the AU chairperson. Okay? So Ruto has peace between now and February. Okay? Na akipata hiyo kiti, that's good. For the next 4 years, Ruto hana ni opposition. Okay? Na hakuna maandamano itamsumbua hapa. Okay? Till 2024. And that will be automatic in 2027. Okay? But Raila akirudi, that means he's going to lose Kalonzo automatically because Kalonzo has assumed the seat already. He has assumed it. Ndio maana unaona Kalonzo is not sitting down. He's already ako kwa barabara already. Kwa sababu watu wanasema, hey, Kalonzo, if you're going to run, anza mapema. He learned that from Ruto anyway. So unaona, Azimio 2. Mguna have said, ndio hiyo. Azimio 2. Road to nowhere. Because we know 2027, Kalonzo is not going to beat Ruto. Let's be serious here. Kalonzo cannot beat William Ruto in elections. He cannot. Tusijienjoy hapa. Tusijienjoy. I mean, ukitaka kujienjoy ni sawa, but we know that. It's clear as day. Okay? Either way, nani hakuona your game. Raila did not see that game plan. Ruto amemcheza. Announcing that he was running for AU. Amemcheza. I don't know whose idea it was. I don't know. But amepangwa. Whether he's saying hatujapangwa, mmepangwa ndugu yangu. Okay? But Raila will have his ninio. You know, atajaribu. It's just going to be embarrassing for him personally if he doesn't get that AU chairman. Like the video, ladies and gentlemen. Like the video. Wacha tuendelee. Aya basi. Let's hear to what these guys were saying in game. They were saying something in game. So let's listen in and tusikie na anasema nini, especially Wajakoya. It was alikuwa anatumia matusi kidogo because Wajakoya is off. Hiyo mambo yake rega. I'm not buying it. But let's listen to what he has to say. Let's listen to Wajakoya mpaka tumsikie ama namna gani. Haya ndio huyo basi Wajakoya wenu. Ndio huyo Wajakoya. Haya. Let's listen to what he has to say. If this computer starts working, then it will be great. For now, it's not. But ndio hiyo basi. Haya. Wajakoya.
Giracha onge kacha. Girama kwezi noto onge kato joge mudinadi. Joge mwe! Mane Wajakoya muwinjonga jakwezi. Baba adwa kuonigi mora chiel. Nikambadi ose wuoyo kanyo. Tokendo mbunge maro siepa kabisa milongo no pia wandae. Tana abro wuoyo in the following manner. Baba, there is a problem. Baba was with Kibaki. Kwanza alikuwa na Moi, mlijua ni kitu gani ilifanyika. Wakati Moi alikuwa anakamata watu Makende akifinya. Wakafinya baba Makende lakini hawakuwezana nayo. Baba ndiye alienda akafinya Makende ya Moi. Mliona kitu gani ilifanyika, si ndio? Wakati ameenda kwa Kibaki, mliona. Kaenda kwa Uhuru Kenyatta, semeni mkaona. Sasa iko na hii mtu. Mimi sitaki kudanganya watu, sitapangwa na mtu yoyote. Baba, vile umeenda pale, ujua kwamba Azimio is very intact. Kwanza pokeeni salamu za Kalonzo Musyoka, semeni Martha Wangari Karua, semeni Eugene Desiri Wamalwa, semeni Mr. Kioni, semeni na Wairia Mwangi, semeni Mheshimiwa Munya, semeni Na hiyo nikimalizia hapo, ningetaka kusema ya kwamba kuna wale ambao wanasherekea saa hii. These motherfuckers are very stupid because they are thinking that Raila is stupid. Wanaona kama mtu kama Obasanjo and other African leaders, when they greet Raila, they do like this. Me, I kiss his hands. Wakati wanafanyia hii Raila, mimi naenda na chukua mdomo ya mdomo yangu, akis luet baba na baba wa. Na kama baba naenda, ni wale African Union. Sio vinyengereka vingine. Baba, you don't need a campaign from anybody. You don't need a campaign from somebody. Wengine wanaanza kusema na tunajua intelligence, we have it, we get it every morning. Huyu baba tutampanga, weka Amina Mohamed hapo ndiye atakuwa hivi, huyu. Termer. Baba ni baba. Baba is baba. Orengo James kama ako karibu na yeye. James Orengo is the best advisor to baba. Huyu James mnaona, huyu ndiye amefanya nimesimama hapa. Na kama watu wengine wanataka kujifanya sasa wacha tusaidie baba aende huko. That is nonsense. Baba has been there before you were born. Baba has been there when you had mucus in your mouth. What else can you do to baba? Baba amefungwa hiyo miaka yote. Baba akiwa kule ndani. Lakini his spirit never died. Then you get small kids here coming here to say huyu baba tampanga, akienda pale we shall be in power forever. Baba is going to be the president in this country. Wapende wasipende. Addis Ababa is just here. After all, si lazima baba kae kwa hiyo kitu. Na hata akikaa si lazima kae permanently. Uwinjo kosa kuwinjo. Uwinjo kosa kuwinjo.
Again, you see, this is what I was talking about. He's playing into the ignorance of the crowd. He's telling them Addis Ababa ni hapa. Yes, Addis Ababa might even be 20 minutes away. But the fact is, if Raila Odinga becomes the AU chairperson, there's no way he can be actively involved in local politics. Again, I repeat that. The reason why, that's why he said he needs the help of Ruto. Ruto has to recommend him in order for him to get the 2/3 vote that he needs, even from his region. And he needs the help of the head of state. Ruto has to go also, akienda Addis Ababa, akituma Musalia, also with the neighbors to help Raila Odinga get that position, okay? So there's no way he can get that position and endorse an opposition politician to dethrone Ruto from the presidency. But again, I told you, Wajakoya and the gang, when I enjoy watu, just like Raila Odinga was bullshitting people by telling them that Addis Ababa is only two hours away. I can always fly in and you need me, I'll help you. That's a big fat lie. Let's stop it. But let's listen to the rest of the thing.
Hii kiti lazima ipewe baba. Baba amenyang'anywa hii kiti kila siku. Ananyang'anywa kila siku. Na watu ya fitina wako pale wanaenda karibu na baba, ngano kurach ngani. Anakuwa ni au acho na losonia. Ni kapod waja kwa podi ntie. Baba kienda uneno ludhni. Mimi naenda kupanga watu hapo chini. Tapiro rodho jimoko kacha. Msije mkajifanya hapa sasa mmeanza kusema kwamba baba kienda sasa unaona madoadoa imeanza. Wengine wameanza kujipanga. They want succession of a man who is still alive. You want to succeed father baba when baba is still alive. Mkiona watu wanakuja hapa anaanza kusema ati we are going to Nyanza, we are going where? Tuanze maandamano. Hakuna maandamano bila baba na Wajakoya. Mmesikia ama mjasikia? Baba, let me assure you. Saizi mipango inaendelea. Watu wameanza kusema ya kwamba sasa baba bila naenda, wacha tupange, wacha tujipange. Hakuna kitu kama hiyo. Baba is still there, he's our leader. Baba will remain our leader in spirit. Hata kama naenda, he's just going to help those people. They have failed. That's why baba is going there. Ya mwisho, nataka niambie Mheshimiwa Ruto, kaa na baba, get baba's wisdom. Kaa na baba, ukae ukijua kwamba this baba we walk with. I'm 64 years, I'm older than Ruto.
So now, interestingly, Wajakoya is saying Ruto kana baba and get wisdom from baba. He's no longer tukani Ruto vile kwa namtukana Ruto before. But this is the same, I'm telling you, this is the same Wajakoya that was this guy. Let me just show you something about this Wajakoya guy. That's why I'm telling you, never take these people serious. They just talk. They're all talk. There's nothing. They talk this heavy talk, but when it comes down to it, utaona this is Wajakoya. Let me show you Wajakoya here for a minute.
Amina. Uliniletea mali moja ukasema hata kama mpendi mtu.
There's your Wajakoya for you. Ati huyu ni mwanamume. He's greeting Ruto and when he was conceding. Na huyo ndio unaona anapiga akiwa game huko anapiga pere sijui nini baba sijui baba is a spirit. I'm telling you it's a game. Watu washapangwa washaekwa kwa ninio kwa box. Wewe unang'ang'ana hapo unafikiri sijui nini. No. Listen, you heard what he said. Huh? You know what he said tena? Listen to what he's saying. Hi, brother Benson.
Uliniletea mali moja ukasema hata kama mpendi mtu.
I told you. These people just Nima story. If they go to the opposition, wakienda huko game huko Nyanza. Nice seeing you, brother Benson. Rebel salute. Wakienda huko Nyanza, wanasema sijui nini. Na ulimwona hapo. Do you remember during the campaigns, he was verbally abusing Ruto. Alikuwa anasema vitu mbaya kumtukana. Then when he won ndio huyo unaona wameshikana mkono. So I'm telling you this is the message I'm telling you. Hao watu wameshapangwa. And it's not more of a kupangwa. Watu wamepangwa is this the politician. Raila and Ruto washamake deal yao. They've made their deal. 2027 is settled kabisa. Wacha watu wajifanye wacheze hapa pale sijui nini. It's done deal. 2027 Ruto has won. The only way Ruto can lose if you get somebody like Okiya Omtata to run, an outsider. Hii kitu ishachukuliwa. Understand? I'm doing this for the Azimio folks, my Azimio friends who are still struggling, because I said, like I told you, there's a disconnect. There's a civil war within Azimio support. Okay? Kuna wale watu ambao wana support baba aende na wanasema kila mtu ajitetee, everybody should earn their stripes within Azimio. And there's some people who are saying, there's another faction that's saying, no. Hold on, baba. We are not going to have Azimio too. Umetuacha kwa mataa. What's going on? Ulianza hii struggle. Mbona finish the war. Huwezi kutuambia twende maandamano alafu unatuambia tisa tumalize hii maneno. What are you talking about, baba? That is what some of them are saying. Which makes sense to me. Here is for the Kikuyu speakers, please help me interpret this. This was a Kikuyu show who are actually making fun of Baba, talking about his somebody who anajipanga. So I don't speak Kikuyu. There was a little bit Kiswahili in there, but if you're Kikuyu people, please explain what's going on over here. They were talking about how Baba amejipanga. Basically, that's the gist of it. Vile Baba amejipanga akakutana na Ruto, na akapata ile kitu amepata na akaishia. So let's watch this short clip from I guess this radio show is owned by Uhuru Kenyatta. So that is what
Niye matamaka. Hegeza ogurumokire.
Atrere, deal with him first.
Raila
Yes.
is a con man.
Why?
He has raped people who are putting sufurias
Yes.
on top of their heads. Kwa mata.
Those who are led by Atagwata. Kioni.
Kioni.
Yes.
Niye matamaka. Hegeza ogurumokire.
Atrere.
Nigwenda horo kuthoma horo wa muhunjura ri guku Kenya. Nigwenda kumuthoma wega nigetha ngiari amenye horo wake muno. No ndeto cia Raila ni cinjangite muno. Ti cia siasa. Cia Raila himself.
Ni he horo ni tiga gubuata kirori giki ri. Ni ndio ndoke ndirekire.
Rabuata kirori.
Ni rabuata kirori manya hara gikinyite.
411.
Yes.
Area ekuo. Eroiga Raila.
Yes.
Says grateful to President Ruto and Museveni.
Yes.
For endorsing his AU Commission chairmanship bid.
Yes.
Urges more support from other leaders. Raila is about his stomach. Nakwambia Rao for sure. Si matusi. For sure Rao ni lanye.
wacha nikushow ni ndiramuonire handu marugamite na president aiketie president ikiti goko muhuko ndona bica yandikitwo atiriri, what do you learn from this photo? Ni ndiraingira comments ini ndona andu makiuga we have learned to put our hands in the pocket.
Raila arasinikirwo kuria Uganda
Kuma bica mahoretwo handu mutito niku
kundu ng'ombe-ini mena Museveni
kuu ni Uganda
tondu ni arenda giti na no amenya BBI yahuranitwo nayo muno
bio
atirethera Raila giti no uretherwo giti
na gutire kinya BBI yo
arathie Mombatha tukigwa ni macamania na president witu Ndagitari Ruto ayuka agikira agitiga maandamano agikira ndona
hindi akio ni mena guku na thaburia
Raila na ikia ria matinda magitica arume ni makumatwara igoti-ini ni ngutangatha ndina ihu riaku
nitakupost Facebook
athi ihu rikongererwo matu agakira Raila bati gukorwo akiruta wira koina
wenda kuga niathiete oriri
na agakira akauga kanyoni gako hitha
kana ni kongerera matu oriri
na wono nduri waku ndirarigwo atiriri Kionieku Wairieku Uhuru
hindi maraiga thaburia thi
Uhuru ituri Karua witu meku
kaona matiraigua no ko mathie mauta thaburia mutu
na sai kauiga ona hena andu ake mataramanyekania mahetwo wira
andu araira already
yes
mona irwo wira guku wira
araiga kuma acama Ruto araigua gicama nyama macona yemba
kuigua kimwenda kuihurirwo ni kiwendo
araigua endete muthuri ucio wa kuria Kalenjin land
nginya akamuherera ni maandamano mariekire
acama murusi nie
ndaigua nginya ni amuhereire
no Raila athekete agakua ngatheti ya Star
eni
areta Ruto dadi
ndona nginya uria rugamite na kiria hau
wamenya Raila oe thamaki ararithia nginya ng'ombe Raila
thaa ici ena muti atiri ng'ombe mararĩithia marĩ atatu
no bata reka the witu akorwo ari oho tondu riu ningi ni matawa maya ni matwakanĩire muno
no kigarũrũkanwo
there is no opposition
thaa ici gũtirĩ opposition
Karoto ni akahota kũgomithia
waipa ndangĩhota
BBI ni agwethera Raila dynasty uyu Raila no agire riu kuhituka kuu arerwo
guku anyitĩtwo nĩ aguoko ri na ng'ombe ici ciĩ thutha ri ria kũingĩra
na nĩ araiga atĩrĩrĩ nĩ agacoka 2027 March
gwĩka atĩa
kũrũgama president Raila ndaga akaheo mathiko maria maheanagwo bũrũri mũgima metagwo atĩa? State budget. Ndaga kai
Atiriri. No kĩũria rĩu
Raila hau.
ndamuona
Wairia maraiguire na gatonye
ngathĩti-inĩ
atĩ nĩ ararũgama.
Wairia thaburia ĩragwa nĩ Wairia ndatiga thaburia. Ngari ya Wairia nĩĩkona.
Anyway, whatever that is, from my understanding, they're just they're talking about how Raila amewacha watu kwa mataa. But here's the thing. Okay, and this is why I was saying that even if Raila runs in 2027, he has already dented his reputation by simply agreeing to this AU chairperson position. Okay? By that, of course, he has taken half of his supporters, especially the non-Nyanza supporters. They now see him as somebody who just wanted this position. And that's why he was leading people to the maandamano. And that's what I was saying. For him to come publicly and announce that he is running for the AU chairperson position, he officially surrendered. Not only surrendered, but he explicitly, okay, shown people that he doesn't care about their interest. That's why some people who are still in Azimio were asking, hey, what happened to the electoral justice? What happened to opening of the servers? What happened to the 10 million signatures? What happened to the cost of living? What happened to the people who died, who were killed? What happened? Eh? Wewe sasa umepata AU chairperson, nini unasema unaenda AU na tukiwa na shida tukupigie simu. Na wewe ndio umeanza hizi mambo yote. You are the one. You know, that's why, again, just to deal with the people, the people who are saying that Baba, you know, because you hear some people say Baba has the right to run for any chair that he wants. Akitaka kwenda AU, that is his right. Akuna right yake. Asi na mwache kucomplain ati Baba anaenda. Stop blaming Baba ati mnaekea Baba hizi mzigo zote. Kama mjini nataka kwenda maandamano, endeni maandamano. Ati nyinyi pia mko na uwezo. Baba is old, ati nyinyi endeni, kama mko na uwezo endeni maandamano. Wacheni kusumbua Baba ati maandamano. Endeni maandamano mkitaka. For those people who are arguing like that, let me remind you, it was not us. Atukwenda hapo tukaweka press conference and ask people to go for maandamano in order to bring the price down. In fact, there are some people who were maandamanaring before Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga told his supporters, kujeni mjitokeze kesho. First aliwaambia mwende Kamkunji, after Kamkunji akawaambia ati tutaenda maandamano. Akasema ati watamaandamana mpaka servers zifunguliwe, mpaka sijui nini. Raila himself, yeye ndio alijitokeza, yeye ndio alijitoa, aliyesema atafanya hivyo. It was not somebody else. So you cannot say that now that ametuacha hapo kwa mataa naenda AU, you can't turn around and point the finger to us and tell us, endeni maandamano bas. After something that he started that cost a lot of people lives and livelihoods, and some of them are permanently maimed, injured. Sasa you're turning out to his supporters and blaming them, telling them ati wacheni kulialia Baba sijui nini, Baba have done so much for this family, for this country sijui nini. You cannot say that. You cannot. You are the leader of the movement. You are the one who called upon your supporters to go to the streets and maandamane. You, Raila Odinga. So you cannot come back and say, oh, me naenda AU, sa we, nyi, man, are you? In fact, he didn't even mention that. He didn't even mention anything about Ninio. Kwa hiyo speech yake, of all the speeches he has told us since he announced that Ninio ya AU, he has not mentioned anything about the cost of living. The only thing he said that that will all be taken care of at NADCO in the parliament. At your NADCO report iko kwa parliament wataongea hiyo maneno in parliament. May I remind you that your reporting had already been declared unconstitutional. It is not anchored in law. So what are you going to discuss? It's a dead as dodo. And he knows it. Again, it is playing on your ignorance. Nanyi mtaendelea tu kusikia. Okay, now we've established Baba amewacha kwa mataa. What are we left with? So assuming you are Azimio, what are we left with? Baba ameenda ndio huyo. I've given you the chances of how officially ametolewa. Ruto amemtoa. Amemtoa kwa ninio, amemtoa kwa hizi mambo yote. In fact, you won't see him nini. Atakuwa atazungumza hapa lakini no. So now what's next? Umeona he started rubbing shoulders with Aisha Jum. Now, how about Kalonzo? Kalonzo is running an aggressive campaign that's taking him nowhere. He went and Uhuru Kenyatta and Nani Gideon Moi, of all people. How do you mean kushikana now? And you think you're going to Martha Karua? What is Martha Karua going to do? Now, here's the thing. Azimio, here's my prediction. Azimio will not break per se. Somebody will break out of Azimio. Let me say that one more time. Azimio as a coalition will not break. But one of the principles in the Azimio will break away from Azimio. Most likely, it's either Martha Karua or Kalonzo Musyoka. I'll repeat again. Azimio as a coalition, political coalition, will not break up. One of the principles in the Azimio coalition will break away from the Azimio, from the coalition. That is what's going to happen. Azimio itabaki, because they want to maintain this face. They want to save face, because they know everyone is tired of osmosis. You kind of mnajigeuza, mnaanza sijui CORD, sijui NASA, sijui Azimio. It's the same. But people are tired of that mchezo. So this time, they'll just maintain and stay a coalition, but the party, the principle, one of the principles, watatoka. And they will, kama ni kwanza ingine, wataanza ingine, but Azimio shall remain. It will just be there as a name. But imeenda, like ODM. ODM, remember, Ruto was in ODM, Kenyatta was in the ODM, Uhuru, Musyoka was on ODM, everyone was ODM, Nyaga, Joe Nyaga. It's still there, but what is it? Now it's a parochial outfit, political outfit. It's a Nyanza province, Luo Nyanza to be exact. Okay? So that is what's going to happen. Azimio will not break up, but the main principles, I suspect it will be either Martha Karua or Kalonzo Musyoka, who will leave soon, sooner rather than later. Okay? So, in summation, what I may say is this. Azimio is going nowhere. Azimio is going nowhere. 2027 is sealed. Ruto anaichukua. We might see NADCO. It can be forced on us, but hiyo kitu imeenda. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. This is Kenya Revolution. Tafadhali, like a video, share, comment, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Tuonane kesho, where we'll talk about something else. It's been a pleasure. I had fun. Again, like. If you're watching this on repeat, make sure you like. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to my channel. And subscribe, like, share, and comment, okay? Tutaonana kesho. Thank you very much. I'll see you guys later. Peace.